So property is quick, easy, and simple to make $1 million in. Absolutely, 100%. This is the thought of almost every property guru that sells education courses and sells, how to and all this sort of stuff. And to be fair, it's absolute bullshit. And look, here's my thoughts on this, okay? So, look guys, property gurus are absolute crap, okay? And what I mean by that is that anyone who goes out there and says they're a property guru, first of all, you got to ask, what are they a property guru at? There's so many things in property. What's the strategy they know really well? I mean, I know new build off plan. I know how to do stuff without getting my hands dirty, without getting involved. That's really, set and forget I talk about it. Effortless property investment. That's really what my niche is, okay? So if you want to learn that, I can definitely teach you. But if you want to learn how to renovate a property, now I've done some of those things, but that's not my forte, So the challenge is you have these property gurus out there that are going out and they're generalists. They first of all talk about how big their property portfolio is and how much they make. Now, from my experience, a lot of these guys, when you look at their claims and you see how quickly they built it, it sort of beggars belief. From a perspective that it's not very safe to do it the way they do it, because if the market changes, from the perspective that how the hell are they getting so much finance, and is that really a good thing, or is it just they're risking and rolling red and hoping for, rolling a dice and hoping for red or black? It's not a dice, isn't it? It's a roulette wheel. Anyway, whatever. Bottom line is with this is you've got to take everything with a grain of salt. Property gurus out there, they always have been, and ever since I've been, in property, which is for over 25 years now, there have been people out there that will sell you how quick it is, how easy it is, how simple it is. Now, the one aspect I agree with is that it is simple, yeah? There is nothing difficult about property, okay? And when you learn the principles, when you learn the structures and the strategies, and when you learn all the bits and pieces, you're gonna realize that actually property is simple. It's not easy, it's not quick, yeah? And people who think it is, and if you think you're jumping in, and if you think you need to pay $13,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is for education, I mean, so many people have come to me over the years and said, hey Brett, I haven't got any property, I want to get into property, I've just done this course, I've spent £26,000, £50,000, $10,000, like it's just amazing. And you sit there and just go, you could have had a property for that and be learning really what it is to invest. So look, you've got to be very careful about this. There is massive amounts of money spent. And I remember the old Ezytrac days, where basically they were a product of their own demise. They were out there talking about how quick and easy and simple it was to make $1 million property and how, you can do it inside a year. And by the way, I'm not saying you can't do it in a year, all right? It's just highly, highly, highly unlikely. And the people that they get put up in a poster as the person that did it, there's another 1,000 that actually didn't do it, And I think by far the majority of normal people with normal lives and normal families and normal upbringings and normal amounts of capital to use and normal amounts of sense will not do 1 million properties in a year because there's too much risk. Yeah, in doing that. Now, I know I'm going to get argued out. I know there's people going to say there, but there is always exceptions. But what I'm saying is by far the majority of people will never do it in a year. Now, in 10 years, it's a totally different story. Yeah? So, I've been in the UK market now for over 15 years. I've got clients for over 15 years. And I've seen those guys, and I've seen the ups and the downs. I've seen some of them start off really poorly, and then really good and continued on. But interestingly, the guys that started off poorly and then had a good time and continued on with a good time, the guys that started off really well and then did really poorly, and now, long term, all the sins are forgiven, okay? Now, the best thing to do is do your due diligence and go in with all your eyes wide open, work out your strategy, make sure you stick to it, don't get emotional, and all these things that you will be taught. And these gurus will teach you some of this stuff. My challenge is it's not something that you can't learn yourself online. And the problem is doing it over 2 days, it's so much information that you don't get to take that intellectual knowledge and apply it. And yes, they say they support you and hold your hands and provide you deals. Some of these guys that they send you to get deals are just as bad as the spruikers on the stages. Now look, I'm all for education. I read lots of books, I attend seminars, I do all these sort of things. And I love that industry, but there's a bad side of that industry, which is the salesmanship. And everything that is done is about selling you to the next course. So yeah, come along for your free seminar, 1 night, 3-hour seminar, and we'll give you this, okay? And we'll tell you all these sort of things. And when you go along there, you go, yeah, but you didn't really tell me anything. What you did was you spent 3 hours selling me onto the weekend course where I'm going to learn the things you said I'd learned back there. And then when you get to the course, what happens is they do exactly the same thing to the mentorship or to the next course or to the, and it's one continuous sales pitch, yeah? You don't need to do that those days. Look, back 10, 15, 20 years ago, there was no internet. So you either had to get a really good mentor, which where are you going to find one of those, unless you're in the industry. So actually back then it was very important. Now you can type Google, Google, there's so much information. You can come on my website, there's questions everywhere. There's so many ways. I mean, look, we have an education course, and it's about $2,000, $2,000 And the bottom line is with that course, that covers everything, okay? There's over 120 videos and it covers everything you need to know to build a foundation, but it doesn't cover everything in property. Nothing will cover everything in property, okay? If you think that one course is going to be the be all and end all, it's not. And the other thing is you need to focus in on what's important. So look, guys, property gurus that tell you it's quick, that it's easy, it's simple, they're selling you something. And it probably isn't what they say they're selling you, which is an easy, simple, path to riches and to lifestyle and all that sort of stuff, okay? The guys who I know who make money in property and really make money in property and actually have the lifestyle that comes off the back of that generally are doing deals. They're generally long-term, they've been doing it. They've had the ups, they've had the downs, they've had the deals that didn't work out where they lost money. They've had the deals that did work out where they made huge money, but they are consistently in the game, playing the game, yeah? Now, as a person who's got a career and off the side, you've got two choices. You do it yourself, okay, or you get it done for you. And they're really the two choices. Obviously done for you, you're gonna have to pay somebody else to do those things, which is fine. And actually, there's enough money in property. Don't believe the BS that all these tax changes and all the things that are happening in the industry right now mean there's no money in property. Absolutely there is. Even with Brexit, we've come out of Brexit and now things are getting back to the way they were before the whole uncertainty of Brexit. So whatever the excuse, and whether it's Brexit, whether it's a recession, whether it's Trump, whether it's whatever it is, the white noise, I call it, of property is always there. There's always reasons why not to do it, okay? But what you need to do is keep your money close to your chest and don't spend all of it on these get-rich-quick, charlatans, spruikers who are going to tell you how easy it is and how simple it is. It isn't. You have to put in effort. You have to apply yourself. You have to get out there and you have to do the deals, okay? And that is quite daunting and quite hard for most people, and especially if you have families, if you have careers, if you have a life outside of property. Now, if all you have is property and that's what you devote your whole time to and everything, well then the question is how are you going to do the deals, because you probably haven't got the financial wherewithal to do the deals. So yes, you can joint venture and there's always an answer to everything. But for the most people and for the average person who is investing, that's not going to be the case. All right, guys, that's Property Rant. Remember to subscribe and ask any questions and I'll come back to you with answers. And if you want me to, I'm happy to record videos in response. All right, guys, have a great day. See you later. Bye.